You are putting away leftovers, and your cat is doing that thing again, winding around your ankles, purring loud enough to vibrate the floor, looking up at you with those eyes that say, just one little bite. Sharing food feels like love, but some of the most ordinary foods in your kitchen right now can quietly poison a cat. Not exotic poisons under the sink, everyday foods, the kind handed to cats out of pure love every single day. What if I told you the real danger is hiding in plain sight, and that by the end of this video, you will know exactly which 7 foods must stay out of your cat's reach, and what safe, loving thing you can give instead? Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sarah Lane, your neighborhood veterinarian. The calls I dread most are the frantic ones. A family racing in with a cat who is suddenly weak or vomiting, and the parents saying, "But we only gave them a little bite." I hear the same confession over and over. Dr. Lane, I had no idea. I feel like this is my fault. Drop that guilt. You are not a bad cat parent. Nobody hands you this list when you bring a kitten home. You are here learning, and that is exactly what a loving cat parent does. If you want vet-guided cat safety, I would love for you to subscribe and join this community of cat parents who refuse to guess. A cat is not a small dog and not a tiny human. Their liver lacks key tools for breaking down certain compounds, and their kidneys are already weak. So a dose a person shrugs off can overwhelm a cat's little body. So grab a pen and a notebook because this is a longer, deeper video, the kind I wish someone had handed me years ago. I am going to walk you through 7 everyday foods I most want out of your cat's reach, why each one is dangerous to a cat, and the safe swaps that keep treating them like family. You are doing the hard, invisible work of love just by being here, and your cat is so lucky to have you. Chapter 1: The Hidden Enemy in Your Kitchen. I want you to stop seeing your kitchen as a place full of treats and start seeing it the way an emergency veterinarian sees it: a room full of things that are perfectly fine for you, but potentially devastating for a cat. Let us start our countdown at number 7. Number 7 is cooked bones. It feels so natural to hand a cat the leftover bone from a chicken thigh or a pork chop. They gnaw on it, it keeps them busy, and it looks like pure cat happiness. But here is the problem. Cooked bones do not crumble the way raw bones do. They splinter into sharp, needle-like shards that can pierce the roof of the mouth, the throat, the stomach, or the intestines. I have seen blocked guts and internal tears from one innocent-looking bone fragment. The surgery is expensive, the recovery is painful, and it is completely avoidable. Here is the do it now protocol. The moment you finish a chicken thigh, pick up the bone, carry it straight to the trash, and wash your hands. Then, if your cat is watching, give them a safe treat before they even have time to feel left out. If you want to give your cat something to chew, stick to a vet-approved dental treat or a tiny piece of plain cooked meat with no bone in it. They get the joy of a treat, and you get the peace of mind. I know it feels harsh to say no to those big eyes when a bone is sitting right there, but you are their hero in that moment, and a safe treat still says, "I love you," just as clearly. Number 6 on our countdown is one that surprises people because it sounds so healthy. It is liver, or more specifically, too much liver. A tiny taste of cooked liver now and then is not the end of the world. But when liver becomes a regular treat, or worse, a staple, it delivers a massive overload of vitamin A. Over time, that excess vitamin A can cause a painful condition called hypervitaminosis A, where new bone forms in places it should not, especially around the spine and joints, making movement stiff and painful. Cats are small. It does not take a huge amount to push them into trouble. So, if you are cooking liver for yourself and your cat is begging, one pea-sized piece very occasionally is the limit. The better everyday reward is a sliver of plain cooked chicken, turkey, or beef. No seasoning, no sauce, just meat. You are not being mean by saying no. You are being the guardian they need, and that matters more than any sad meow. Chapter 2: Why a cat's body turns ordinary food into an emergency. Here is the mind-blowing science. Cats evolved as obligate carnivores, which means their entire metabolism is tuned to protein and fat from prey animals. Their livers lack some of the enzymes that dogs and humans use to break down plant compounds and certain chemicals. Their kidneys are designed to concentrate urine and conserve water, which also means toxins can become more concentrated in their system. So a food that a dog might tolerate can hit a cat much harder, and a food that is fine for a human can be outright poisonous. That is why we have to be picky in a way that feels almost unfair. It is not about being restrictive for the sake of it. It is about matching what we feed them to the body they actually have. When we do that, we remove so much of the guesswork and guilt. Number 5 on our countdown is a perfect example of that unfairness. It is raw bread dough, the kind that is rising on the counter while you bake. If a cat swallows even a small ball of yeasted dough, the warm, moist environment of their stomach makes it keep rising and expanding. That alone can cause a dangerous, painful bloat. But the yeast also ferments the sugars and produces alcohol inside the cat. So now you have two problems: physical expansion and alcohol poisoning from the inside. If you bake, keep rising dough under a tight cover, inside a closed oven with the light on, or anywhere a curious paw cannot reach. The safe swap is simple. Wait until it is fully baked. Plain bread is not a treat for cats anyway, and give them a species-appropriate cat treat instead. Baking is wonderful. Just keep the rising dough where curious paws cannot reach, and everyone stays safe. Before we go any further, I want to give you something. I have put together a little book called The Natural Cat Care Companion. It has the full printable list of foods that are toxic to cats, the safe treats you can give instead, and the exact emergency steps and numbers to keep on your fridge. It is my gift to you. Point your phone at the code on the screen and scan it, or find the link in the description and pinned comment. It costs you nothing, and it can save you a lot of worry. Chapter 3, the villain foods that look innocent. Number 4 is avocado. This one confuses people because avocado is a health food for humans. But for cats, the fruit, the pit, the skin, and the plant all contain a compound called pursin that can cause vomiting and diarrhea. Some cats seem fine after a tiny lick, but others react badly, and there is no way to know which cat yours is. Please hear this vet warning. Just because something is natural or healthy for you does not mean it is safe for your cat. Their biology is different, and natural is not the same as non-toxic. If you want to give your cat a little something green and safe, a teaspoon of plain cooked pumpkin is a much better choice. It is bland, it is fiber-rich, and most cats tolerate it well. You are not depriving them by skipping the avocado. You are offering them something their body can actually use. Number 3 on our countdown is citrus and other highly acidic foods. Think lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruit, and even vinegar-heavy foods. Cats generally turn their noses up at citrus, which is a good thing because the essential oils and sorrelins in citrus can irritate their skin, their mouth, and their digestive tract. In larger amounts, they can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and even light sensitivity. The sour smell that makes you wrinkle your nose is actually a warning sign your cat should trust. If you are using citrus cleaners on counters, make sure they are fully dry before your cat walks or licks those surfaces. A safer curiosity for a cat who likes greenery is fresh cat grass. It is easy to grow, safe to nibble, and it satisfies that plant-chewing urge without the risk. Your cat does not need lemons in their life to be happy. They need you, safe snacks, and a little cat grass now and then. Chapter 4, the 2 most dangerous everyday foods. We are now at the top of the countdown, and I need you to pay extra attention because number 2 and number 1 are both things most households have within arm's reach. Number 2 is alcohol. I am not talking about someone giving their cat a cocktail as a joke, although that happens. I am talking about the half-finished glass of wine on the coffee table, the spilled beer on the patio, the dessert with rum in it, the fruit that has been soaking in brandy. A cat's tiny body cannot process ethanol the way ours can. Even a small amount can cause dangerous drops in blood sugar, body temperature, and blood pressure, and it can lead to seizures or coma. During parties and holidays, this risk goes way up because glasses are everywhere and cats are curious. The safe swap is not a different drink. It is simply keeping all alcohol out of reach and making sure your cat has fresh water available instead. It takes almost no effort to move a glass to the center of the table, and that tiny habit can prevent a devastating night. Now, before I tell you the number 1 food I want out of your cat's reach, the one hidden ingredient that shows up in more products than you might think, I want to set the stakes. The cats who do best after a poisoning are almost always the ones whose owners recognized the danger fast and called for help immediately. Time is everything with toxins. So, as we go into the reveal, keep that notebook handy because this next one is the single most important swap on the whole list. I promise you, this is the ingredient that is hiding in more products than most cat parents realize. and once you know its name, you will start spotting it everywhere. If you saw the thumbnail saying never feed this is exactly what I meant. Number one, the everyday food I most want out of your cat's reach is xylitol. Xylitol is an artificial sweetener that is hiding in an astonishing number of products. Sugar-free gum, sugar-free mints, some peanut butters, baked goods, toothpaste, mouthwash, and even some medications and vitamins. For cats and dogs, xylitol triggers a rapid release of insulin, which can cause a dangerous crash in blood sugar within minutes to hours. A cat with low blood sugar may vomit, become weak, stagger, have tremors, or collapse. In severe cases, it can also cause liver failure. And because cats are so small, it does not take much. A single piece of sugar-free gum can be enough to put a cat in the emergency room. So the rule is simple and do it now practical. Before any peanut butter, gum, mint, or baked good crosses your counter, flip the package over, run your finger down the ingredient list, and look for xylitol, sometimes listed as birch sugar or wood sugar. Keep gum and mints in closed containers in a drawer your cat cannot open, and never assume peanut butter is safe until you have checked it. The safe swap is a lick of the water from a can of plain tuna in water, or a treat made specifically for cats, something with zero artificial sweeteners and zero mystery ingredients. You are not being overly cautious by checking labels. You are being the kind of cat parent who reads the fine print because their cat's life is worth it. Chapter 5. The Safe Treat Framework. Now that you know the 7 foods to avoid, I do not want you to leave here feeling like you can never share anything with your cat again. Sharing food is a love language, and there are absolutely ways to do it safely. The key is to stay inside the lane of foods that are plain, unseasoned, and species appropriate for an obligate carnivore. Good options include a small piece of plain cooked chicken, turkey, or beef with no salt, no butter, no garlic, and no onion, a tiny bit of cooked salmon or a lick of tuna water once in a while, a teaspoon of plain cooked pumpkin, a few blades of fresh cat grass, and of course, treats made specifically for cats. The common thread is that every single one is plain and given in tiny amounts. Chapter 6. Protecting your cat during the highest risk moments. The truth is, most accidental poisonings do not happen on ordinary weeknights. They happen during parties, holidays, cookouts, and gatherings. A guest who does not know the rules slips your cat a bite of onion dip. A plate of chocolate desserts sits within reach. A glass of wine is left on a low table. A child drops a piece of sugar-free gum under the couch. If you skip this step, everything was a waste. Everything you just learned, every safe swap, every label check, because the safest food list in the world does not matter if your cat gets into a gum pack left on the couch. On those busy days, I want you to do 2 things. First, tell your guests kindly but clearly that your cat is on a strict no people food rule. Second, give your cat their own quiet room away from the food and the noise, with their own water, their own safe treats, and a closed door. It protects them from the scraps and from the stress at the same time. Here is the simple bowl safety formula I want you to build as a habit. It takes about 10 seconds and it will protect your cat for life. Before anything goes from your plate into your cat's bowl, run it through 3 quick questions. 1. Is it plain, with no onion, no garlic, no salt, no butter, and no seasoning cooked into it? 2. Is it a food I know is safe for cats, not something on this list or something I am unsure about? And 3. Is it a tiny amount, just a taste, not a meal? If you cannot answer yes to all 3, it does not go in the bowl. When you are unsure, the safest answer is always to skip it and reach for a treat made for cats. 10 seconds of thinking beats an emergency visit every single time. Please hear this second vet warning because it could save your cat's life. If you know or even suspect your cat has eaten any of the foods we have talked about, but especially xylitol, alcohol, onions, garlic, grapes, or anything from the allium family, do not try to handle it alone at home, and please do not try to make them vomit unless a professional tells you to. Some toxins do more damage coming back up, and hydrogen peroxide or salt can hurt a cat badly. Call your veterinarian, an emergency clinic, or a dedicated animal poison control line right away and have the food and the amount ready to tell them. With poisonings, the cats who do well are almost always the ones whose owners acted fast instead of waiting. You have done something really important today. You have looked at your kitchen through your cat's eyes, and you have made their world a little safer. Keeping your cat away from the things they cannot understand is one of the quietest, most loving jobs you will ever do. They will never know about the gum you threw away, the wine glass you moved, the bone you rinsed off the plate, or the avocado you kept on the counter. They will never understand the effort you put into keeping them safe. They will just get to keep being your healthy purring companion, and that is the whole point. Before you go, I have a question for you. In the comments below, tell me, what is the one food your cat would absolutely steal off your plate if you turned your back for 2 seconds? And which of these 7 swaps are you going to try first? I read every single comment, and I cannot wait to hear about your cat. If this helped you protect your cat tonight, please subscribe to the channel because I make these videos for cat parents who refuse to leave their animals' safety to chance. Hit the like button too. It helps other cat parents find this before a preventable emergency happens. And do not forget to grab your free natural cat care companion from the link in the description and pinned comment. Give your beautiful cat a gentle chin scratch from Dr. Sarah Lane tonight. Take good care of them, always trust your instincts, and I will see you in the very next video.